Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host, Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And today, continuing on Once More with Feeling series on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Today, Eddie, we're doing Season 2, Episode 17, Passion. This episode first aired February 24th, 1998, written by Ty Cree and directed by Michael E. Gershman. Eddie.
This is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan of the show, but Jared has never watched the whole series, and I'm trying to convince him it's worth his time.
Are you crazy?
You can try. It's been a journey so far, I got to say. If we can just sort of talk on that for a minute. This episode, it was a pretty heavy episode.
Yep.
I was actually spoiled by this episode. Something I saw on Reddit.
It wasn't even that. The moment you saw her, you were like, "Oh, I haven't seen her." I knew it was going to happen. You know that she's not around in the later seasons, so you knew something was going to happen to her.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could be she just went away and lived happily ever after, or something.
But it's a Joss Whedon show. That doesn't happen.
Well,
no one lives happily ever after.
Everyone's miserable.
No, well, this is what starts, and he does this a lot, and it's where a couple who've been, what do you call it? Like they've sort of separated. There's been some sort of event. They've separated. They're coming back together, and just as they're about to find their happiness, one of them dies. Like it happens all like.
And I think
constantly.
I know of another episode in this season that I have seen where that exact same thing happens.
Yeah, yeah.
I won't say what it is, but
you know
Eddie knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah,
because it's also a very famous example of this. But it happens in Angel as well, and it's probably even more devastating in Angel than it is here.
Really is that thing. Everything's back to normal, and just a big turd he takes on that. That's his thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
No one deserves happiness.
Yeah, think Wash in Firefly, not Firefly, in Serenity.
Serenity, yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, funny enough, I think that was actually, you know what? Let's hold it there. Let's get the synopsis out the way. We'll get back into that because I want to bring up Wash as well.
Okay.
This episode begins at the Bronze. Buffy and Xander dance while Angelus watches from across the room. His voice narrates the concept of passion. Buffy wakes to find an envelope on her bed containing a drawing of herself sleeping. She asks Giles if there's a spell to reverse Angel's invitation into her house. Buffy explains to her mother that she is having problems with Angel, whom she describes as an abusive boyfriend. Willow also discovers that Angelus has been in her room, leaving behind a sick gift of her dead goldfish hanging from a fishing line. Drusilla has a vision showing someone attempting to break up the newly reunited vampire family. Jenny goes to a magic shop to buy an orb of Thessala. Buffy confronts Jenny and explains that Giles misses her. Giles tells Buffy that he has found a ritual to revoke a vampire's invitation. Joyce finds Angelus waiting for her in the front yard. He starts to follow her into the house, but is unable to cross the threshold. Willow is shown reciting the ritual, and Buffy shuts the door in his face. When Giles finds Jenny working late at the school, he invites her to call at his house when she has finished. Jenny completes her translation of a ritual's text that, along with the orb of Thessala, will restore Angel's soul. She jumps when she notices Angelus sitting in the dark at the back of the room. He smashes the orb of Thessala. Jenny flees, but Angelus catches her and snaps her neck. Giles returns home to find the place decorated in a romantic setting with candles, wine, and rose petals. As Giles follows the trail, he finds Jenny's lifeless body. At Buffy's house, Angelus lurks outside. When the phone rings, he grins as the Slayer and Willow become stricken with grief at the news. Giles returns to his apartment to arm for battle. A drawing of Jenny's lifeless body is seen on the table. At the factory, there is an explosive crash as a long dining table erupts in a flame. Drusilla, Angelus, and Spike recoil and move to escape. Giles attacks Angelus with a flaming baseball bat. Angelus grabs him by the throat and lifts him clear off the floor as Buffy enters the fray. She breaks Giles free of Angelus' grasp and fights Angelus, but is distracted by the unconscious Giles, now completely surrounded by flames. As Angelus makes his escape, Buffy jumps down and half carries Giles from the building. At day, Giles and Buffy stand beside at a new grave. The headstone reads, Jenny Calendar. Buffy apologizes for not being able to kill Angelus when she had the chance. At school, as Willow sets her books up on the desk, the backup disc containing the translated ritual slides and falls into the narrow space between the desk and the filing cabinet. I guess we'll see what happens at for a later day. The end. All right, Eddie, what have you got for me? Where do you want to go with this?
You know what? This is getting back to it being an overarching episode, and you really, really, really see Angel step up his torment of Buffy, and you can see his the cruelty of who Angelus actually is.
Yeah, you can really see what he mentioned in the episode of him just destroying Drusilla before he killed her. This is what he was doing to her.
Exactly. And he goes after everyone pretty much in this episode. And it's a tough one, and there's some really, really tense scenes. And when I watched this on air, I was like, there is no way in hell. Well, back in those days, there is no way you kill off a character like Jenny.
Yeah, and just getting back to what I was saying about Wash, the character from Firefly. Serenity? No, Firefly?
It's in Serenity that he dies.
Oh, okay, yeah, but the character. Now, I was reading how this is one of those defining moments in a series when you want to just put a little heads up to the audience and actors that no one is really safe.
Yeah.
And this is a nice way just to say everyone is on the line and anyone could die. And that to put that tension, because when characters have quote-unquote plot armor, things become a little stale. And you know when a character's in danger and it cuts to an ad, you're like, oh, well, they're going to be fine. Just puts it, things in perspective.
Like Carol from The Walking Dead. She's just always got this very thick plot armor.
Yeah. Spoilers on that. But there are some characters that just seem to ravish in that. And I think this is something... a notice that Joss was putting on, especially with actors maybe getting too comfortable as well.
Yeah, and apparently...
And maybe abused a little bit.
Yeah, I think he kind of abused this as well. It has been it has come out that he used to hold, he made it very clear that he was not scared of killing off a main character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he kind of did abuse his power a little bit. With this. There's some really tough scenes in this episode. Playing the obsessed boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is so creepy, and him telling her mother.
Yeah, can you pass a message on for? Can you tell Buffy how much I love her? That was. I'm not sure if he was really doing that on purpose or just messing with.
No, he's done it to mess with Buffy because it was a good way of having her mum being
concerned.
Very disappointed in her. For sleep, and you have her...
Because she would have to explain to her mother who this guy is and would eventually have to say, and I slept with him as well.
Well, she never introduced him. Like she said, you never even introduced this guy to me as your boyfriend. You didn't see him fit enough to even introduce him. And he's obviously a lot older.
Yeah, a couple 100 years older.
I always find it such an awkward.
So he wasn't really the obsessive boyfriend, but he was playing the obsessive boy.
Just playing on it to absolutely mess with Buffy.
It's very, very, very calculated, isn't it? It make himself look like a fool in front of Joyce's mum, just knowing that would get him in trouble.
Yeah,
get her in trouble, I should say.
Yeah. But also the way that he can we talk about how he, because it kind of always bugged me, the fight, the chase scene with Jenny, and he doesn't bite her. Yeah, he snaps her neck.
Yes.
And I always found that really weird.
Again, I was reading into that wanted to make sure that if she was a vampire, then she may come back.
If he had have bitten her, because it does make a difference for the following scene with Giles. If he had have bitten her,
you think maybe she was.
There was a possibility that she would have been standing up there and could have killed Giles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But no.
No.
That would be too obvious. No, they had to make, and he had to be in vamp face as well. That was the other thing that they made sure of.
Yeah, so it was so you wouldn't know it was Angel. You wouldn't be related with Angel killing her, and to make it more non-fictiony more fictiony as well. The fact that it's not just a human killing another human.
Yeah. So
it's a vampire killing a human.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's even that extra spiteful part of not even sucking her blood.
Yeah, he didn't kill her for food.
For food.
He killed her for fun.
For fun. For fun.
Well, it was also a necessity because she had found a way to reinsult him.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So he kind of had to hit her first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So some of the other really spiteful things like this, the Willow and her fish didn't have any puppies to nail to a door. So he's gone in and gotten Willow's fish, and
I thought that was kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
I kind of laughed at that.
Yeah.
Well, because she was feeding a fish. I'm like, there's no fish in there.
Yeah.
And I just thought, oh, that was just a goof or something.
Yeah.
You know, that she just feeds a fish and there's no fish in there. I got to say, it would have taken a bit of time to take them out and impale them all on the stick.
It wasn't a stick. Oh, sorry. It was some fishing line.
Fishing line, yeah. So there's a bit of arts and craft in that one.
Yeah, definitely. He's very
artsy. Like
very artsy.
Those drawings he did were quite...
Yeah, they're really lovely.
I wonder if they kept them.
Oh, they'd probably be worth a bit of money.
And with the drawings, the one Giles found. Now, you didn't see that one of Miss Calendar originally. No. It was just a letter said upstairs. But he finds that later. So did Angel put that after he found it?
Yep. I believe that to be the case. Or he'd left it in a place that he wouldn't have seen it when he first came in. That scene really does, like, it ups the ante on his whole plan, because he's deliberately done that to Giles to mess with Giles. But then he knew exactly what Giles was going to do. Giles was going to come after him.
Yeah.
And then he could very easily kill Giles.
To draw him out. Yeah, to get him to basically to do everything he was telling Buffy not to do.
Yeah.
Was to
don't be a slave to your passions.
Don't be a slave to your passion, and don't
be impulsive.
Don't be impulsive, yeah.
Yeah, don't feed into what he wants you to do.
Yeah.
Which she did. She was pretty good.
Yeah, she was, but not Giles.
Nope.
Flaming bat. Yeah. And maybe take points off for using a baseball bat, not a cricket bat.
Yes, it should have been a cricket bat.
Yeah.
And Angel does that. It's a very similar scene to like what Spike does in School Hard at the start when he's stalking Buffy.
Yeah, but and that's the other thing. We had a narration in this episode.
Now, there's one and only time they ever use it.
Yeah, it was weird.
I think it does get used again, but it's done in a more jokey way in like season 7. But yeah, other than that, you never ever see this that being used ever again.
Yeah, so that was a bit weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't really fit, and I don't think it worked.
No. Yeah.
Well, but also in this episode, they've got garlic.
Yeah, garlic was brought up. So what do you do with garlic?
Well, it wasn't even brought up. It was just sitting in the background.
Yeah, it was just sitting there, but yeah.
But it's never used. It's never used prior to this. It's never used after it.
Do they use holy water?
Yes, they do.
So they use water pistols?
Yeah, you'd think that they'd put them in pistols, but no, they never do. No, she has like little bottles of it that she.
Well, they did that in Lost Boys. Had water pistols
with holy water.
With holy water in it, yeah, and that would make sense.
And you also have a bit of a callback to Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered, with the difference between love and obsession.
Yeah,
because Angel is absolutely obsessed with destroying Buffy.
Yeah.
And does a pretty good job of it in this. And when we lost our favourite techno-pagan.
Oh, Miss Calendar. Yeah, it was pretty sad.
And I have to ask, did you think she looked extra pretty in this episode? Like,
I was going to say,
made her look...
she was looking hot. She's definitely, I was just thinking to myself, they just lost the hottest character in the show. Well, I think she's a lot more attractive than Buffy or Cordelia, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, but in this episode particularly, like especially...
I think she got a lot of screen time as well. That probably...
Yeah, but in like I think it's when she's in that outfit that she's wearing is just stunning.
Or when she walks into the shop.
Yeah.
Like that scene, she's looking pretty hot.
Like her hair, her makeup, and her outfit is all just super on point.
Yeah, I was rewatching and going, she is gorgeous. I absolutely love Ms. Calendar.
Yeah, definitely love. There's a lot of love for Miss Calendar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I have to talk about Xander. Every now and again, there's a moment in an episode where I'll shout, "Shut the fuck up, Xander."
New segment.
And in this episode, this is the line where I physically have to say, "Shut the fuck up, Xander." And it's him going, "I'm sorry, but let's not forget that I hated Angel long before you guys jumped on the bandwagon. So I think I deserve a little something for not saying I told you so long before now. And if Giles wants to go after that fiend that murdered his girlfriend, I'd say faster, pussycat, kill, kill." And all I have to say to
Shut
this...
up.
Yes. And it's like, yes, you did hate Angel, but it was because you were jealous of him. So you don't get a told you so. I told you so. You do not deserve it. Also, Giles doesn't stand a chance at killing Angel. Buffy barely can hold her own against him.
Yeah.
How does Giles have a better chance of killing him? So he can take his faster pussycat kill line and shove it up his ass.
Shut up! Shut up!
That'll be my rant on Xander.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dick.
Yeah. It's very similar to the line in I think it's in When She Was Bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, if they kill Will, like, you know, if anything happens to Willow, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. That was a bit weird, that one. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Didn't like that.
Like, why do you get to be on that bandwagon?
Yeah, taking the moral high ground on that when, it wasn't really her fault. But
yeah. But also incredibly insensitive to Buffy in this situation, in that she'd had a lot of trouble trying to kill him because of how much she loved him, and he was a huge part of her life.
Yeah, and just to throw that in the face like that, it's a very, very
Yeah, and do you really get points for not liking someone just because they're a vampire? That's what he wanted.
Yeah. I hated him first.
Yep,
very
I hated
mature.
him first. Yeah. So Jared, what rabbit hole did you go down this week?
Got a big grin on your face when he says, "Why do you ask questions you know the answer to?" Sarah Palin went down that hole. Oh, that sounded bad.
That did sound...
So what's the actor or the character?
Danny Strong plays Jonathan.
Plays Jonathan. So we've mentioned this guy once before. So out of all the actors on this who've gone on, he's probably had one of the most successful careers, not so much in front of camera, but behind camera as well. And he's written a few TV shows, been on a few TV shows, and wrote the 2012 Tally movie, Sarah Palin, or Game Changer, it was called.
Yeah.
I never heard of this film. You heard of this film before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. With Gillian Moore playing Sarah Palin, who I actually thought it was her on the cover. I thought Tina Fey was the ultimate Sarah Palin, but I think she'd have to hand that mantle over to her. As far as looks go, anyway, on the cover, I had to really squint and go, "What the hell? Is that actually her?" So it took me down the Sarah Palin rabbit hole. So Sarah Palin, this was going back 12 years during the 2008 election. Was pretty big at the time. Like all the stuff that was going on about her. We were living overseas at the time.
Yeah.
And they had the first vice president. Debate with Biden.
Didn't we watch it in like Switzerland or something?
I can't remember. We watched it somewhere.
I think we were in Geneva. It was like a stop overnight and we were exhausted, so we stayed in.
Yeah, I know we watched it somewhere.
And watched it in like a hotel room.
I know we watched the actual election day in Bangkok. I remember we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we just hid. We had 3 months of traveling. We just hid in the room. I didn't want to go.
I had really bad food poisoning.
Yeah. But that was interesting times back then. Just reflecting on things past with Sarah Palin and the huge sort of controversy of her being picked as a vice president candidate. And maybe it got me thinking about the ageism that was thrown towards Senator McCain at the time.
Yeah.
The old adage was she was one frail heartbeat from the presidency.
Yeah,
you remember that?
I think Matt Damon said something like
it was like the bad Disney movie where you have the soccer mum as the president of the United States of America. And just in retrospect, looking back on it, I think people were really unfair at the time. I mean, I was all on board with that at the time. I was like, yeah, this is ridiculous, her being nominated or being elected. Of course, Barack Obama won that election, and the rest is history. But it's just funny just looking back on that time back then and how everyone perceived it and how ridiculous everyone thought it was at the time. And possibly critics were pretty hard on her at the time and scrutinizing her family and her daughter. I remember there was people accusing her Sarah Palin's youngest child as actually being her daughter's child. Do you remember that one? Remember I told you about that?
Oh, yeah.
There was theories going around that her youngest child wasn't hers, it was her daughter's, and she covered for
it. Yeah. I do remember
they managed to quash those rumors by saying, oh, no, that's not true because my daughter's pregnant now. So that's a bit of a nostalgic trip of American politics in the late 2000s. That's the rabbit hole I went down. So, and Sarah Palin's still around today, doing things. I know she's doing something. Yeah. Looking at Russia from her house, maybe.
I don't know. I just look over and you're watching SNL. No, you were like going. I swear she was wearing a red outfit.
I had the now. What do you call it? I had the Mandela effect on me. I was watching the vice presidential debate with Joe Biden, and I'm watching Palin. She's wearing a black dress. I'm like, I could have sworn she was wearing a red dress during this. I'm like, And of course, I look at the sketches, and it's Tina Fey wearing it.
You looked at me, and you were like, I swear she had a red dress. I'm like, no, you're thinking of Tina Fey.
I'm thinking of Tina Fey. Yeah. Yes, now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the rabbit hole for me, baby. Sarah Palin. Go Alaska. They have a zoo,
Okay. Let's get into...
All right, we're doing it.
Question time. Question time.
Answer the question.
Okay. Which character was your favourite in this episode? Jenny.
Jenny.
Only because it'll possibly be one of the last times we...
Yeah, I love Jenny. Miss Calendar. Sad to see her go. Pearls? Diamond and Pearls?
Diamond and Pearls, yes.
Yeah.
The Prince Dancer.
Yes, yeah. And so yours too, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had Jenny down as well.
Of course, yeah.
My favourite techno-pagan.
Yes. Got to rave that techno-pagan.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're in agreement on that one. She's in this episode a lot.
Yeah, this is her episode.
This is her episode.
They sent her off. Also, a hint that a character's going to die. Geez, you're getting a lot of screen time tonight. What's the go with that?
Yeah. Next question. Which character do you love to hate?
Do we love to hate? And jealous. Yeah.
Yep.
Love to hate him.
In agreement on that one too. All right. Next question. What was the most memorable fight scene?
Giles with the baseball bat. I really love that.
Molotov. I think it's good. Like the Molotov cocktail on the table first. And then just comes in swinging with a flaming
doesn't even
bat.
say anything.
Doesn't say
a word. Just goes in and just doesn't stop.
Goes full ripper.
Yeah. Goes full ripper.
That's what I like to call full ripper.
Yeah. And as I mentioned,
the ripper comes out.
could be more patriotic and used a cricket bat.
Yes, exactly.
So baseball bats are basically clubs. That's what people usually go.
Oh, but cricket bats have that nice little wedge.
Yeah, they're not that good. They're probably a bit too wide to bash people with. I mean, you'll use it if you have to, But just on a side note.
I don't know. Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. But just on a side note, because baseball isn't that popular in Australia, but there were a spate of home evasions that happened a while ago. And Rebel Sports, one of the major sporting warehouses in Australia, sold out of baseball bats in a place that no one plays baseball.
Yeah.
They basically are just a club.
Yeah. Let's just say no one was using them to play baseball.
Baseball fields were empty.
Yes. Next question.
What was your fight scene?
Oh yeah, my favorite fight scene was actually probably the Jenny Angel fight scene.
Okay.
So when she's sort of trying to talk her way out of it.
Yeah, run away, throws the cleaner's cart.
Yeah, I don't know. When I first watched it, I honestly thought she was going to get away. I did not expect that he was going to actually kill her.
I wish I wasn't spoiled on that. That would have thrown me. That really would have thrown me. Yeah.
Next question. LOL moment.
I thought the fish tank. the fact that he would have been the idea of him sitting there and scooping the fish out, trying to grab them, and then trying to wire. They're still wriggling, you know. That would have been hard to do. That would have been, you know. I mean, Angel went. You could have made an episode of this Angel doing all this stuff in the background of him like sitting there doing all these drawings. Like he put a lot of effort in this episode.
A lot of effort. Like he
and
was
the fish
setting up all that stuff for Joel. Yeah, that would actually make a really interesting...
getting all those rose petals and putting them there, and then lighting the candles and writing the notes down. So and putting the music on. I mean, he spent a lot of time doing that.
Like there's an episode later on that focuses on a B plot.
Mm-hmm.
Or sort of turns a B plot into an A plot. But yeah, this would have been funny to see like
Angel's B plot of him
Angel's B plot
running around. He had to get those roses too.
Yeah.
So you had him getting the roses,
the wine. He had to go looking for
candles.
He had to get the right song. You know, he was like, "Nah, this song won't work. Nah, this song. Oh, this one's perfect."
Yeah. Yeah.
Searching through Giles's records.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of effort in that.
Or even better, he went out and bought the record.
He bought the record.
Yeah. But yeah, that actually would make a really funny episode if they had have done that.
And yours?
It's actually Drusilla trying to feed Spike the puppy named Sunshine. Oh, Sunshine. Oh, need to eat. Yeah, it's kind of cute. And Sunshine's very cute.
Yeah, he is.
And then she kind of walks around with it for a while as well.
Yeah. Was it her own dog maybe? Or it looked pretty comfy there.
I don't know. She just walks around with this dog for the rest of the episode. Doesn't eat it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. She likes puppies.
We're not going to do the voice?
Which part?
No. Next question.
Next question. I did the sunshine. Who gets the wooden spoon? Xander.
Yeah.
Yeah. For just being Xander.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dick. Yeah.
He's been a bit of a pointless piece of poo in this. Yeah, with his verbal diarrhea.
Yeah. No. Definitely give him that.
Favorite scene?
I do love Angel staring through the window. I thought that was a pretty intense scene. Like, it's that thing of setting things in motion and watching the chaos and just reveling in it. You know.
So I have that as my least favorite scene, but I couldn't decide whether or not to put it in my favorite scene because it's a scene that. It doesn't matter how many times I watch this episode, I cry. I get tears in my eyes every time I watch that scene. Yeah.
He really, he's really swelling in the chaos that he has caused, and he's just loving it, loving every moment of it.
He's just drinking up the grief. It's exactly what he wanted, and he's getting off on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That music as well.
Yeah.
Didn't you go down a little rabbit hole with that?
Oh
as
yeah,
well?
I found out that that song, the Jenny Calendar song, is a very sad sort of score that what's his name, the Christoph
Beck.
Christoph Beck. Yeah, the song it's sampled. It's an Ed Sheeran song.
Yeah.
I Love, and at the intro it uses a sample of the Jenny Calendar song where they find out she dies, and they play it again when they're at a gravestone. So it's recommend. It's a nice song. I'm not a huge fan of Ed Sheeran. I don't hate him. I don't love him. He's a good musician, and this song's actually quite nice. And now I know a bit about it. It's okay. It comes full circle. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to try and play a little bit of it. This is a big no, but just maybe if I talk over the top and play it, and you can sort of get the idea. This is the Ed Sheeran song, "I Fire Love," I think it's called. So you can sort of hear. That's the sort of the intro of it there. If I keep talking over it, maybe we'll be okay. And yeah, the piano. That's that part. Yeah. Yeah, that's the part there. Yeah, okay. So I think I might be okay with that. See what happens. Don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness.
Yeah. 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 So that scene, literally, even after 20 years of it,
still hits you, huh?
Every time I watch it, I cry. And I think it's the it's that combination of the music. It's when Alison Hannigan does her cry face, like she does those big doe eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the acting in that scene is just amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, still gets me in the feels every single time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't work out whether to put it as my favorite scene or my least favorite scene. Because yeah, there's a few amazing scenes in this that aren't exactly favorites, but
memorable.
They're memorable.
Yeah.
So I put as my favorite scene was actually after Buffy pulls Giles out of the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And she, she punches, he's like, this wasn't your fight. Why did you come? And she punches him and then hugs him. And then he's just like, you can't leave me. I can't do this alone.
Yeah.
And it's just a really sweet moment.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm bringing that one up.
Yeah, fair enough.
And we'll come to least favorite scene.
So the scene where Giles finds Jenny, which I might add was done quite well. Very melancholy, very Scorsese's type of scene with the opera music, and just as he finds her, the opera singer really hits the high notes. Yeah. Almost reminded me of that scene in Goodfellas where Joe Pesci shoots that spider character. There's a little sort of the opera singer hits that high note just as like a revelation is made when he realizes he's killed the character.
It really shows Angel's whimsical evil fully on display.
Yeah. And just a side note, apparently they didn't get the permission to use that song.
Yeah, no.
But a relative of the opera singer saw that and then told him about it and was just rapt that someone had used it.
Oh no! Someone else owned the rights to it, and they had the rights.
Oh, they had the rights. They had
the rights to use it, but the person who sang it didn't know.
Yeah,
know about
okay,
it.
Fair enough. Yeah. So he might have got a song credit or something for like a $5 check. Oh, what's this for? Oh, okay. But I've listed this as my least favorite scene. Now, I know you're making movies and stuff like that. Of course, I'm not a movie maker, so I really shouldn't, pick on technical stuff like this. But the actress is clearly breathing in this scene. Now, it just took me out of it a little bit because I thought maybe she was somehow still alive.
Yeah.
For a half a second, because I think she's got like some weird twitch that's maybe a funny nerve in her neck or something.
Yeah.
It's really obvious. The first time I watched it, and I actually thought maybe she was alive. I mean, I know this is a show about vampires and demons and stuff like that, so people can be resurrected. It's happened before. So for a second, I thought maybe she was a vampire or something. which took me out of that scene a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, apart from that technical part, that really took me out of it. Otherwise, it would have been a great scene. Yeah. I know exactly what they were going for, but yeah, you just lose it. You lose it, don't you?
Yeah.
You lose it, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said that as well, like the moment you said it was like, is she breathing? She's still alive? I'm like, what?
Yeah, as I'm saying, I thought it was part of the show, but it wasn't. And for such a powerful moment too, for a character's death like that, to the final reveal of it, of the other characters finding out about the death.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was the best take they did.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Favorite quote?
I'm not going to say where this is from. I'm just going to say it. No fair going into the ring unless he tags you first.
It's Spike to Drusilla. Yeah.
I think he's just enjoying
Spike
getting
Angel getting beaten up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to go with, well, maybe next time I'll bring you with me, Spike. It might be handy to have you around if I need a really good parking space.
There's a lot of disabled jokes in this episode, wasn't there? He was really dishing them out.
He also called him like Roller Boy.
Roller Boy, yeah.
Or I was going to go with passion is the source of our finest moments. The joy of love, the clarity of hatred, and the ecstasy of grief. Passion. Where the show gets its name from.
Oh.
From that.
Yep.
From this.
Is that a poem or something? Or is that
it's just Angelus.
Something
just
Joss
Angelus.
wrote up or the Ty King wrote? Yeah.
Just something just right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Best Cordelia freakout moment.
Well, she's freaking out about her car.
Yeah. So they take this joke a little too far. Yeah, she goes on about it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. But can't he enter the car because it's not a house, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No one tells her this. Is this to tell her that everyone's just kind of enjoying this a little bit?
No
one says it's a car, not a house. You can go in there no matter what.
But it does make her seem really dumb. But she isn't dumb. Like we've already established that Cordelia is not dumb.
A little backtracking a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of backtracked a little bit.
Like we've established that she's not the bimbo.
Yeah, we've established she's not stupid.
Everyone's like just standing there and not saying anything. No one just says, it doesn't matter. He can go in there regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a house. What if it's an RV?
Yeah, but then she's got but then in later scenes, she has it like garlic hanging on the windows of her car. Like, that's really...
What about the Pope-mobile?
What about it?
If you're driving that, does that mean you couldn't...
Wouldn't it have been blessed by...
That's what I'm saying. They can't attack that car.
No.
If they were driving the Pope-mobile.
No, because it would be, hallowed ground. Like, they would have blessed it.
Holy ground.
Yeah, they would have blessed it before he drives it so that if there's an accident...
Oh, hang on. So you're telling me you can just bless anything?
Yeah.
So you can bless any car?
Yeah.
Oh. Actually, no, they did this in Dogma.
Yeah.
The golf clubs.
Yeah.
So does that mean you could just bless a cricket bat maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
And just beat them to shit with a cricket bat?
I don't know. Possibly.
It opens up so many doors now.
Definitely. Yeah. So she freaks out 3 times about Angel getting into her car. And no one really...
Yeah, as I said, no one says, no, it doesn't work.
Yeah. And she does randomly fly into a scene. She all of a sudden appears in a scene to go on about the car and then isn't in the scene anymore.
I didn't know. It's probably something a Buffy fan would notice. Oh, you're in that scene, then you're not. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Who's the MVP of the episode?
Well, sometimes the MVP goes to the team you don't want to win. And I think Angel is the MVP of this episode. What he does, he torments, and I've got to say, a great artist, a great impressionist.
Yeah.
He's lots of practice over the couple 100 years of imagining, and a good fisherman too, apparently. So Angel is definitely MVP for me.
Yeah, he definitely one-ups them in this episode. Buffy doesn't really get the upper hand at all.
No, She saves Giles barely. But,
she barely saves Giles.
Mm.
And she was lucky, like 3 seconds later, Giles would have been dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. You have to give it to Angel.
Yeah.
Yep. What do you rate this episode out of 10?
I give it 7 flaming baseball bats.
Oh, that's a nice high one for you.
Yeah, I think that's my highest. 7 baseball bats.
Yeah.
Flaming baseball bats.
Yeah.
Sugar cricket bats.
I'm going to go 9 out of 10 orb of Thessalus.
Okay, well, I think I've exhausted all of my resources. What about you, Eddie?
Yeah, I think that's all of my talking points done.
Nothing left?
Nothing left.
Well, I've got nothing left to say. I guess we'll just have to wrap it up, won't we, baby? So, I hope you've enjoyed yourselves listening to us tonight. We are Nerd Subculture. My name is Jared.
I'm Edwina.
And you can find us on... Where can you find us, Eddie?
You can find us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. There's a Facebook group, and you can email us at nerdsubculture@gmail.com.
And if you really liked what you hear tonight, like, share, and subscribe. Share us around and send us a comment. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Grr, arg.